Don't be saying I don't care, but at every given opportunity, tell me why you care. It's not making any sense, babe. Something upstairs isn't clicking. Okay? Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another Love Island review. A lot for us to discuss, a few singlets to tear. Guys, there's actually so much to discuss. Like my notes, yeah, today's notes are quite long, but as always, we're going to get through it. So as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number three, as I usually and always say, please get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. Today I have a raspberry lemonade, which I actually tasted for the first time, and it tastes absolutely amazing. So yeah, a lot for us to get through today, because I don't know why some people are acting like they haven't been here before. Why are some people acting like they haven't been here before? Or better yet, they haven't seen the seasons before. Let's get into it. So let's start off with the aftermath of the couples, of course, coming back into the villa, because you guys know Whitney and Lochan had to stay behind and, you know, make their decision. The only thing I have to flag up from this part was when Jess was talking to Abi and she was like, oh, this is Mitch's karma. The truth of the matter is, because Abi's singlet is the singlet I'm tearing in today's review. I'm so sorry. I had to rip the singlet because I genuinely feel like at any given opportunity, Abi uses it as an opportunity or a chance to try and speak about Mitch. It is boring, it is recycled, you are with Scott, keep it moving. But don't worry, we're going to get into those scenes very shortly because the madness starts tonight. Okay? It actually starts tonight and it transpires to tomorrow as well. Anyway, so let's start off with Ella and Ty talking. Of course, they clocked that, well, Ty actually clocked, oh, why aren't we the favourite? Which makes me wonder, and I'm going to get into it at the end. You know what, let me wait for it. Yeah, let me do bits by bits because I don't want to confuse myself. But of course, they were speculating why Whitney and Lochan had stayed behind, and was of course assuming that they only think one couple is going to come back, and of course Whitney and Lochan were going to be given the power to decide who is going to leave. What was very interesting was Ella actually thought that Uzi and Katie would come back, and Ty also once again mentioned that, yeah, why aren't we the favourite couple? But Ella said, don't worry, you're mine. But we're going to get into that shortly, because you know that Big Daddy Ty ends up speaking, Mr. Spokesperson for the entire villa. Now, of course, in the meantime, Jess, Molly and Sammy were talking about Zach, and Zach was also talking to Scott and Abi. The truth of the matter is I just kind of want them to wrap up that storyline. I feel like, I already said this in yesterday's review, I do feel like the storyline was just a bit forced, but at the same time, I don't want Zach to act like a Disney and not understand why Molly's upset. But also at the same time, I want Molly to understand that it was just a game, even though I have said you need to play the game correctly, i.e. kiss the person you're with, marry your bestie and pie whoever. But yeah, I just kind of feel like, because I already know that Molly's going to take him back, this whole dragging out of the storyline and, oh, I feel this and my feelings, he needs to graft it, it's boring. Okay, let's wrap it up. Now let's move on to Whitney and Lochan, of course, coming back into the villa, saying their highs to everyone. And who ends up walking behind? Messy Mitch and Ella B. Guys, you know, it's so funny. You have to recognize that the entire villa was literally shocked that Mitch is back again. Okay, and I already gave my verdict in yesterday's review. I did say that I did honestly think it was a bad decision. I feel like all of them should have been dumped. It was literally like they had to make a decision at the end of the day. I feel like all of them should have been dumped. A lot of you were in my comments yesterday saying, oh, you know, like Mitch is more entertaining than Katie and Uzi, which I completely understand because allegedly she has a man on the outside. But at the same time, I feel like we've seen Mitch's entertainment for like the past 6 weeks. There's only so much messiness he can give us. We already know he's messy. The Islanders already know he's messy. So I just wish all of them were sent home, if I'm going to be honest. But of course, they gathered around the fire pit, and Ella honestly couldn't believe that they had sent Katie and Uzi home and that they decided to save Mitch and Ella. So of course Whitney, whilst they were walking to the villa, was just like, yeah, we had to decide. And she was just like, you let Katie and Uzi go, you saved Mitch and Ella, you saved Mitch and Ella, etc, etc. Of course Whitney ended up explaining why they had to make their decision, and Lochan said that he felt like Katie and Uzi could explore what they have outside of the villa. Like I said, allegedly she has a man on the outside, so I don't know what's being explored over there. But it's a shame. I actually was really starting to like Uzi, guys, and that's why I'm calling him Uzi, because he actually was really sweet. He was actually really sweet. Of course, they mentioned the whole thing about, you know, they were looking at characters in the villa, and Mitch is a huge character. Ty, Big Daddy Ty, like I said, Mr. Spokesperson, came out and was just like, yeah, but it's not Character Island, is it, etc, etc. What made me scream, I have to be honest, what made me scream was Tyrique literally told Mitchell in front of his face, I feel like you guys make the wrong decision and I don't know why Mitch wasn't sent home. That is absolutely hilarious. There's only one person who can do that, and it honestly is just Ty. Of course, you know that Abi started jumping in, but don't worry, I'm going to get into her very shortly. And anything else I want to say about that? Yeah, what I wanted to say, and I tweeted this as well, was don't get me wrong, yeah, I did feel like it was a wrong decision, and I guess the Islanders could as well, but Whitney and Lochan actually don't have to answer to anyone. I mean, we were given the power to, we made a decision, cry me a river and move on. I do feel like the Islanders at first were like really dragging it out and making Whitney and Lochan feel really bad for their decision. It may not have been the greatest decision, but they had to pick someone, okay, and they decided to pick Ella B and Mitch, and everyone just honestly needs to get over it. And once again, apparently Katie has a man on the outside, so she can go back to her man. 2 seasons in. Yeah, it really and truly is what it is. I mean, everyone should honestly just move on. But let me know down below if you agree or you disagree. Now let's move on to Whitney, of course, speaking to the girls, and she was talking about how much she weighed out the pros and the cons. Ella was saying that she feels like Mitch has had many opportunities in the villa, which is very true. Mitch has recoupled with many people, and none of them have been successful. We know the one with Ella B isn't even successful as well. But I do feel like when Ella 1 agreed, and obviously Abi was tag tailing on and everything like that, I honestly feel like she also done it because she actually just doesn't like Ella 2. Guys, you need to really look at the underlying reasons as to why some of them say the things that they do, because we do know that Ella 1 doesn't even take to Ella 2 really well as well. Ella B was talking about how, what did she say? That she's always wanted Mitch, which was cap, but I still don't understand why sister's lying on 4K. We all know that Ella B and Mitch, there's nothing there, okay? She's just hanging on because she doesn't have a choice, if I'm going to be honest with you. The person she came into the villa for was Ty, and of course Abi mentioned as well, like, Mitch already told me that even on the outside world you won't work. And I'm once again going to get into Abi later, because I genuinely just feel like even later on with the Karen tears and whatnot, you keep saying you don't want drama, you don't want to be involved, I don't want to be involved in the issues and into situations, but you keep bringing up things that Mitch allegedly said. Whether he said it or not, who knows, but you can tell it's coming from a bitter place. But we'll get into that bitter that bitter word very shortly. Molly was of course saying that she's happy that Katie's gone, even though like a little smirk as well. It was given Wicked Witch of the West. Nothing can I don't take to that girl. I'm so sorry, I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, and this is why I want them to also wrap up the Zach and Molly storyline, because clearly Katie was the main factor as to why you were upset with Zach. Now that he's gone, you know you're going to go back to him, so let's stop dragging the storyline out and let's just wrap it up. Thank you. Of course, the boys are talking at the same time as well, and Tyrique, sorry guys, I'm probably sinking in my chair. The boys are talking at the same time as well, and Tyrique was saying once again that Mitch has been back and forth with Ella B and Abi, in the presence of Mitch as well, and Mitch just like, no, like I'm about Ella now, bro, I don't know what you're saying. So you can definitely tell that the entire fire pit situation with all the things that Ty said, which I actually agreed with, beat me, but I actually did agree with, you can definitely you definitely could tell that it did touch a very soft nerve and hit a nerve with Mitch as well. Let's move on now to Jess, Sammy and Molly talking. Molly asked if Zach has said anything about Katie not coming back to Sammy, and Sammy was like, no, he didn't. And then of course, like I said, she gave the smirk, Wicked Witch of the West, as always. And then it ended with the confessionals of Sammy saying, oh, I feel like me and Jess are in a really good place and he's really happy with the progress. Whatever that means, because I genuinely still haven't seen any progress with them. Whether the producers are just missing scenes out, or maybe there isn't actually any progress, who knows, but I don't know what he's saying. Okay, now let's move on briefly to Mitch and Ty. They had a conversation. Mitch of course said all the things that he said, and then they ended up kind of hashing it out and also spudding, so not much to discuss over there. Now let's move on to Ella B pulling Abi for a chat, and guys, this is why I need to tear Abi's singlet for the second time. Okay, so pull her for a chat, and the truth of the matter is I'm actually very glad that Ella B spoke up about her situation. We all know she isn't really interested in Mitch, okay, let's just keep it a buck, but I'm very glad that she pretty much told Abi, babe, you need to mind your own business because you're too busy being in mine. So of course Abi ended up coming over, they ended up having a conversation, and then Abi was saying like the stronger couples should be in here, it's the weaker couples that usually leave. I need her to be very guided, because the only reason why Abi's still in that villa is because a lot of you are still pity voting for Scott, which by the way I've stopped doing because I can't, okay, I can't do it if Abi is still on his shoulder like that, because she's annoying. I'm sorry, she really annoyed me this entire episode. Of course, she mentioned once again that Mitch said you won't work on the outside, and Mitch also overheard because everyone in the villa was like, oh, they're gonna have a conversation. So Mitch was, I feel like, not only close in proximity but also reading her lips. And Mitch heard and said, I never said that, let's roll the tapes. And she was like, yeah, let's roll the tapes. And he said, yeah, let's roll the tapes. Because my thing is, Abi, you're with Scott now, and this is what Mitch was saying, and this is what Ella was saying as well. You're with Scott, be happy with Scott and keep it pressing. You're too concerned about me and my business. The truth of the matter is that you're still bitter, and I'm glad that Whitney told her about herself later on. But baby steps, we'll get into that shortly. She kept saying once again that she doesn't care, she doesn't want to be part of the drama. But you do care, and you do want to be part of the drama because you keep mentioning it to me. What's not clicking upstairs? You can't come to me raising topics of there being drama, and then when I call you out on it, start saying, oh, I just don't want the drama. I just don't want the, but you brought the drama. The drama is at your doorstep because you keep bringing it to me. So it's given lack of self-awareness, as I usually say. It's given delulu, and she needs to honestly just let it go. Mitch also said as well, like, you do care. You're saying you don't care, but you care because I seem to be in your mouth every single second of the day. It's actually okay for you to rest. Scott now comes over and he asked them if they feel like Katie and Uzi were stronger than them, and Ella said no one is more worthy of being in the villa than another person. And I have to hear it, okay? Even though, like I said, I did feel like all of them should have just been dumped because I don't feel like any of them are as strong as one another. No one has a right to now be dictating, oh, but I feel like the stronger couples are the ones that stays. Okay, well, it wasn't your opportunity or your place to vote. Whitney and Lochan voted for me. Everyone needs to move the heck on. And Abi, you need to rest, okay? You're doing way too much. That mic is way too loud and you're getting very irritating. Thank you. Now, let's move on to Scott talking to the rest of the villa about the whole situation. Ella popped in again to say that she's team Abi, and like I said before, I genuinely do feel like Ella was backing Abi just because of the whole Ella 2 situation, because quite frankly no one else should have an opinion on this apart from Whitney and Lochan, who had to make the decision themselves. Oh yeah, Whitney, this was when Whitney started putting people in their place. Oh my gosh, this is when Whitney actually started putting people in their place. But Whitney was saying that Abi's comment stems from bitterness about Mitch, and she literally told everyone to stop being silly and use their brains, and everyone kept quiet, and I hear it. Stop being silly and use your brains. Everyone can have an opinion, but your opinion doesn't really matter. And on top of that, Katie and Uzi are home, okay? Mitch and Ella B are here. They're probably landed. I think I saw Katie tweeting in tonight's episode. They've landed. They've moved on. Everyone needs to do the same as well. And I'm glad Whitney told everyone to stop being silly and use their brains, okay? It is what it is, and we voted for who we voted for. Let it go. But let me know if you agree or disagree down below. Now, of course, we'll move on to Abi talking to Whitney about Jess, and obviously what was said with the... Abi was talking to Whitney and Jess, sorry, about what was said, and Whitney said, truth to be told, I feel like what you said and, you know, your response and everything comes from a place of bitterness. And Abi was like, it's not bitter, that's your opinion. And then Whitney was like, well, it's not actually my opinion, it's the truth. And she just said, it's not the truth, it's your opinion. And then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then Abi was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to have an opinion. And I was just like, once again, let it go, okay? The truth of the matter is, Abi is still a bit at the fact that Mitch and her didn't work out. You guys, you have to be honest. Think like a girl, put your thinking caps on. I'm sure you can definitely pick this up. So of course she's going to have some underlying emotions attached to the things that she's saying. All of this speech and all of this outrage and all of the outbursts and everything comes from a deeper rooted issue. As Whitney said, use your brain. Okay, Whitney did of course also tell her to not to stop being daft, and the truth of the matter is I'm glad that Whitney was real. I mean, let it go. I picked who I picked. If you want to throw a little shot because Abi ended up walking away and getting proper upset and emotional about things, that tells me everything that I need to know. All Whitney essentially said was that you still care, and that's that. If you still care, okay, own up to it. Don't be saying I don't care, but at every given opportunity tell me why you care. It's not making any sense, babe. Something upstairs isn't clicking. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's move on to nighttime. Not much to discuss here other than the fact that Abi started crying to Jess and Ella, proving to me that you do care. She was just like, I just don't want the drama, I just don't care, but you're crying, so something isn't adding up. Karen Tears stocks are up again. I've been telling you guys this. And of course, she then came to the dressing room after. She just said, guys, I just want to let you know that I just don't care about the situation. I'm just not here for the drama. Why are you giving us speech? babe, go to bed. Okay, go and sleep. So let's move on to the following morning. We'll start off with the boys chats and then the girls. The boys, Mitch was saying that he's really grateful to be back in the villa. I don't know what juju Mitch banged, because the fact he's still in that villa after 6 weeks with 0 solid connections, it can only be God. Okay, it can actually only be good. Zach was saying that yesterday him and Molly had a very emotional conversation and that he's going to give her the space that she asked for. But on the other hand, the girls were talking and Molly was saying that she didn't ask for space, or she doesn't remember if she asked for space, but she doesn't, she wants Zach to graft and basically work for her. I'll get into that shortly because I just don't really care about that whole situ. Abi was also talking about the whole Cadian situation and that she voiced her opinion and she's allowed to have her own valid opinion. And Ella was saying that, Ella B, sorry, was saying that, you know, no one is above anyone in this villa and everyone should be made to feel welcome. And I do have to agree. Anything else? Oh, and then the fact that Whitney, Ella and Jess still having a conversation, and Jess was saying, oh, Molly's probably, you know, chuffed that Katie's gone, and then Jess literally was just like, yeah, but Zach isn't Katie wasn't the problem, Zach was. But we'll get into that shortly. Now let's move on to Zach and Lochan having a conversation. He said that he feels really awkward, but he's going to give her space, but at the same time he doesn't really know what space is. And at the same time, Jess and Molly were also having a conversation because she didn't actually remember that she asked for space. Zach ended up coming over, asking if she wants a drink, and he said, I'm not ignoring you, we can talk tonight. This part made me scream a bit because she was like, I don't want space. I mean, I'm free whenever, I don't want space. And he literally just walked off. So my theory still stands, guys. I genuinely don't feel like Zach and Molly are going to make it on the outside world. I feel like he's managing her because we're 6 weeks in. He may find her attractive, but I just don't really see anything deep when it comes to Zach and Molly for some reason. And on all of the unseen clips that I see, it's literally just her growling at him all the time. So very interesting. Now let's move on to Scott and Abi having a conversation. Once again, like I said, Abi is really pressed about this whole Mitch situation. I'm just kind of over it. So Abi was saying, oh, you know, my head is still a bit this from last night. I haven't really spoken to Ella B. Oh yeah, we just were having a few conversations here and there. I've been telling her bikini's nice. I don't know why I'm remembering all of this, but anyway, she was saying all of the lines and Scott was just like, yeah, like maybe just give it a few more days. We don't know if you're going to be here in the next few days. Okay, but he was saying just give it a few more days and maybe you guys can have a conversation. And once again, I'm just over it. Like, why are we still discussing this? Why? Everyone is in a new couple. Let it go. Let everyone just move on. Recycle storylines once again. We're tired and we're bored. Abi needs to let it go. Mitch needs to rest, and Ella B too. And let's just call it a day. Now let's move on to Molly, Mitch. Oh, sorry. Molly and Mitch talking. Not Molly, sorry. Zach and Mitch talking about Molly, saying, oh, she's so beautiful. Mitch was like, yeah, like she's a natural beauty, all that type of stuff. And then Mitch was asking him, you know, about being girlfriend and boyfriend. And then Zach, which makes me scream because everyone knows that Mitch is so messy. Zach was like, bro, if I told you this, you can't tell anyone. Mitch is like, yeah, Scott's like, you've got this. Like, yeah, I'm not going to tell anyone. But he was just like, yeah, he wants all these things to die down, first of all, between them, because he feels like this is a hurdle that they need to get through, which makes me wonder, he's gonna ask her to be his girlfriend. Huh? Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the nighttime. So Ty, of course, letting the guys know, guys, I've got something really planned, very, very, very special for Ella, and I need you guys to be involved. And of course, whilst everyone was getting ready, he went to the kitchen, got some strawberries, dipped it in chocolate, which I don't like for some reason, guys. I feel like fruit should just be fruits and chocolate should just be chocolates. When people be mixing the two, I get really confused. But you know what, whatever makes you happy. Do you like chocolate covered strawberries? Down below, let me know, because for some reason it just, I don't know, it just doesn't really give for me. But anyway, he ended up, they ended up having a cheers, of course, and then Ty went to talk to the guys and let them know that this is the night I'm telling my good sis, or my good girl, sorry, that I do love her. So very interesting. A lot of people were speculating that maybe Tyrique clocked, hey, we're not the public's fave, so what can I do to alter that? But at the same time, we do know that Ty has also been saying that he has liked Ella over the past couple of episodes and he feels like he's in love. So of course, he was telling the guys, listen, I need 2 bean bags, preferably the orange and the pink one. I need you to go outside, get some rose petals. I've got the chocolate covered with strawberries in the fridge, get it out, make it look pretty. I'm gonna try and distract Ella, go outside, tell her I love her, etc, etc. So of course it was given Big Daddy summon up the boys. Okay, so Tyrique now goes up to Ella and the girls and says that, you know, he wants to take a picture with them to try and distract them, and Sammy, which was actually quite cute, running across the entire villa to try and get the beanbags out. Zach was involved as well, and I won't lie, the setup itself was actually quite cute. I was smiling like crazy, like wow, Tyrique actually has me smiling. Of course they ended up going outside, and then he asked them, no, she asked where they going, and he was like, you know, you're smiling so much, and everything was all laid out very cutely. And then he started saying that, you know, he can't wait for their future together and that he really loves her, and she also said the same, you know, since the second I saw you on day one, I feel like my feelings have grown, etc, etc. And then they ended up sharing a kiss. Guys, I won't lie, it was actually really cute. Do you think Tyrique was playing a game, or do you think it was genuine? Let me know down below. But it was actually really cute to witness. It's giving growth. Wow. It's giving growth, but at the same time, it's giving side eye. Okay, Tyrique? It's giving side eye. But I am happy that Ella is happy. And I guess they have come quite a long way when you really think about it. Ella and Tyrique have given us serious scenes this season. Of course, they ended up coming back to the villa and everyone was cheering them. And then, of course, very giddy, very smiley, all good vibes. And then we got a glimpse of tomorrow night. So we have a truth game. I don't actually know what the game is called. But we do know that there is going to be a little heated discussion between Mitch, Abi and Scott. Scott was saying that Mitch has been single for 3 weeks. And Mitch was also saying that they, aka Scott and Abi, are fake couples because Abi is only with him because he didn't want her, and all that good stuff. Overall, guys, it was an okay-ish episode. Yeah, I feel like the episode was actually okay. Overall, I do feel like it was an okay episode. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you agree, what you disagree with, what your opinions and your views were on some of the scenes as well. But yeah, that is really it. So as I usually always say, number one, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter. But as I usually always say, please do take care. I love you loads. God bless you, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.